I can think of only one thing more weird than calling a movie sexy, and that is delicious.
Welcome to the horror show. To realize there is nowhere to run. No game to try. Paranoia is hiding alive. Welcome to the horror show. To realize there is nowhere to run. No game to try. Obsessions rule your mind.
Scream 2. If you thought the original Scream was a blast, but did have some faults, then you'll be more than happy to know that Scream 2 makes up for it and then some. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Scream 2 is longer than Scream 1, and yet it's more entertaining. How is that possible? This film is smart, gruesome, and notable of its surroundings. And when I say it's notable of its surroundings, I don't mean it knows that it's a sequel, even though it does. It knows that it's a sequel and it plays on that, and it works really well. But the fact that this film mentions other films from like the 70s and 80s, like House on Sorority Row, House 2, The Second Story, and the lower ones that were never really as big as films such as Alien and Terminator 2, which they also mention, but it's like a whole extravaganza of a horror history, and it's awesome. And it knows that, and it plays off that, and it's like, they're even making fun of the killer, saying, what are you trying to mock House and Sorority Row? I thought that was brilliant. It's a really well-made and well-done horror film. And sequel. Although there is a couple problems with the killers, mainly the fact that it's blatantly obvious who it is. They just don't really look into it too much. They don't look at the facts too hard to support the fact that this person who is the killer, they don't know if it's the killer because they just don't know how to look at pictures right. It's kind of like, wow, they really shoehorned that one in. There are also 2 security officers in this film who serve no purpose but to be part of the body count. Speaking of the body count, it's kind of weird, because I thought that the killer was killing people based off their names, because their names matched the victims of the original film. At least that's what I think. I was kind of half asleep while watching this again after, like, several years, and it didn't make sense, because after like the hour mark they started killing characters that had no relevance in name or relativeness at all. This film is fresh fun. It's much more entertaining than the original. It has a lot more kills, a lot more blood, a lot more awesomeness, and the film just feels a lot more creative and original than the first. Even though the first is way more original than the second, it just has that flair about it. It still has the spark, it still has the energy, and it's still going to make more sequels for the years to come. After 1997, of course. Even though there are a few minor plot holes in this film, it is still fun as hell. Overall, I give Scream 2 a 4 out of 5. I still remember seeing this film for the first time. It was actually the first Scream film I ever saw. And I was blown away by how gory it was. I was like, oh my god, he got stabbed in the cheek. Oh my gosh, he gets stabbed so many times. And then I watched the whole thing and I was like, wait, what happened? I have no idea what's going on. I'm just enjoying all the bloodshed. I was probably like 8 or 10. It wasn't a nice night. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below, and to leave comments and subscribe.